Welcome back to Ratchet and Clank. I do not remember why I started in Taro for this episode. No, I did not go back and get the Persuader. I actually do that in the backtracking episode. I just don't really remember why I started here.
Right. So I kind of noticed something. They repeat the same animation for Ratchet and Clank getting into the ship.
Yeah.
It is time to begin your new assignment.
That's kind of lazy.
A photo op by your shiny
No,
new
it's not.
shuttle. Terrific idea.
Yes, it is.
You really are an idiot.
I mean, it's just an animation that takes like 5 seconds.
And ambush those two miscreants when they
Yeah, well,
arrive.
at that point, if you're gonna do the same one, why not just skip the animation altogether? I mean, I know plenty of games out there that do that, and they got away with it. I mean, think about Bethesda titles. Why have an animation of your character opening a door
That is why
if
I
you can
will
just
use my starfighter.
teleport through the door?
Can still fly, can't you? It's settled then. You will acquire
Also,
the starfighter
you notice the
once
boxes in this area. Oh gee, almost as if we're going to actively explore this area.
But that would ruin me. You.
I do feel like it's good to highlight that. You know, just to show the player like, hey, you're going to. Oh my god, he's
way too big for that thing. Oh no, 2 does an even better joke. 2 does an even better joke.
I feel like Quark should have put on a clown costume.
I mean, Quark is one giant ass clown.
Yeah. But no, I do like it when they show collectibles and whatnot in
Cutscenes.
cutscenes. I feel like one of my biggest examples of this was, I think, one of the Lego Harry Potter games, where in one of the cutscenes you can just actually see where you can get like one of those Hogwarts crest kind of collectibles in the cutscene.
Oh, I did get off screen.
Oh, really?
That's weird. Oh, now I remember. I recorded the backtracking segment beforehand. I recorded this backtracking segment before actively doing this episode. So I have a bit of a better count than I do. That basically will be coming in the first visit to another planet that's going to be coming. Now I remember, yeah.
Alright, by the way, that reminds me. For those who are still waiting for the extra Lego Star Wars Complete Saga episode where we do everything for 100% completion, you can stop waiting. We're not doing that. I scrapped it.
Good job. Anyway, the big gimmick for this stage is destroying these towers to basically open up these barriers. A skill point is getting rid of those ships that you see. See you parked on the ground. So, yeah.
And what do skill points do they give you, like a gallery or something?
I actually do not remember what they give you in this game, to be honest, so hold on.
So they're just things you can do.
The original game gives you stuff for the goodies menu. The goodie, and basically, the goodies menu basically has a list of the skill points, the credits, sheets that are basically button inputs, cutscenes, and in-level movies. All those are unlocked by beating the game, period. For 15 skill points, you get a sketchbook. For 30, you get an epilogue. Getting all 10 gold weapons gets you a making a video and the weapon commercials.
Wait, do they include like those Japanese weapon commercials?
If my memory serves me, they do.
Oh, that's great. I've seen those videos and they're absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, they do.
Like just a guy in like a Ratchet fursuit go. Okay, to be fair, I shouldn't call them fursuits, but I don't know what else to call
Ratchet
them.
costume. Ratchet costume.
Whatever. Look, it's almost 1 a.m. here. I'm fucking tired. Anyway, as I was saying, basically somebody in a Ratchet costume going like, homework? Let's blow it up! Like, I love that shit.
Yeah. And no, since I actually forgot about the epilogue, I do not show it in the final episode. I legit forgot about the epilogue.
Oh, the one thing I'm curious about, now that you mentioned there's a
Epilogue.
there's a making of video. I'm gonna quickly check something.
Yeah, and yeah, this whole planet is straight space. You are wearing the O2 helmet the entire time, just like with Orkson.
And without the O2 helmet, you couldn't
you couldn't even go here. Yeah, you wouldn't even be able to get here.
Alright. Also, I just checked something, and apparently Ratchet & Clank, at least the European version, is 3.05 gigabytes. So, yeah, that makes sense if they have, like, actual video files in there. Because those can get pretty big.
Yep, they really can. Anyway,
I do feel it makes...
Those wondering why I have not swapped back to Helipack, you actually do need the thruster pack to complete the game. So I don't swap it back and swap it back throughout the rest of the game, which kind of sucks.
All right.
Luckily, going Commando onwards, they made it a completely optional. So when I play anything past this, the Hydro Pack gets used more than the Thruster Pack.
Yeah, but to go back to the subject of like the developer making of videos, is that something that Insomniac does a lot?
Honestly, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Like, the few times I can remember, seeing one of those are anything in the PlayStation Underground videos.
Alright. Yeah, because one thing I do remember from the small chunk of Sunset Overdrive that I played was that I don't know what I did to get it, but there were some moments where someone from Insomniac was actually showed on it was just like a video played on one of the in-game billboards, and they straight up just mentioned one of the weapons from Ratchet & Clank, which I thought was kind of weird because, you know, PlayStation game like just name dropping exclusive to other platforms is something I find kind of weird. You know, kind of like the same way how I felt when in South Park the Fractured Butthole Cartman just straight up mentions The Legend of Zelda. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's something they're allowed to do, but it's something that just feels weird when it happens.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Plus, I mentioned the name drop of The Legend of Zelda, but I feel like the one thing I find more notable was when, I don't think it was for getting the final one, but one of the member berry collectibles actually goes like, remember getting all 120 stars in Mario 64? Ooh, I remember. Don't like the member berries?
That whole season was just really just dumb. And I'm not really a big fan of Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's not good compared to Stick of Truth. They just bring back so many jokes that basically just sucked the first time. Like, oh hey, remember when we had when we did little kid booters? Remember when Cartman's hand was alive and claimed to be Jennifer Lopez?
Oh god. Wait, hold up. That wasn't Cartman. That was Mitch Connor.
It was still his hand, Edgy. I hate the fact that he was the bad guy for that. I hated that. It's like they really ran. They could have had Cartman been the villain in Stick of Truth. No, they didn't. So they couldn't go back and do it again. They could not have done Mitch Connor or whatever.
Yeah. No, you know what I feel like is the biggest reason why Fractured Butthole wasn't as good?
Why?
Because he couldn't dress up as David Hasselhoff.
I actually would do Stick of Truth for the channel if it wasn't for basically the third night. At least think it was the third night.
You're talking about the part where...
The underpants known part.
Yeah. I mean, I personally feel like if we ever do any of the South Park games, it's gonna involve a lot of censoring. And, you know, considering
honestly,
that I'm the one
that one would just be basically the worst part of the censoring.
Oh,
that would be the worst part of the censoring, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that I couldn't do it. It's just I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I mean, I would if I have
for
to.
the record, the entire basically part is you chasing down the underpants from Gnome, and you wind up in your parents' bedroom, and they're having sex. And they do not blur that stuff out. For watching for 5 minutes, and it's like, God damn it, you guys. That actually is just the weakest part of Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
And it's also, again, the main reason why, oh hey, it's kind of really bad to do it on YouTube. So I am looking... Go ahead.
Look, just promise me one thing. If you ever do Stick of Truth, please try to get the Australian version.
I would do the Australian version. Most because I'm really curious about that part. Also,
yeah.
Also this will be covered in the episode, in the backtracking episode, but that little bolt symbol on the bottom is for the metal detector. You get that for completing the mission that you get when for doing the stuff by getting across where you meet up with the commander in Battaglia again. When you get the Orkson infobot. Yeah, it basically just reveals loose bolts. That's your reward for getting to that, which it's not a bad reward.
What's that icon on your bottom right?
I already explained that.
Explain it again.
Screw you. Yeah, so until we actively see that, yeah. This is the metal detector. They don't have this in the later games. They do not have something like this in later games. Mostly because they have actual better ways to actually get bolts.
Right. Yeah, this just looks really stupid.
It does. It really is. And granted, at least the noise isn't that obnoxious or loud.
Yeah. don't need to get too many. You don't need to get that many of them.
Yeah, like I said, it sucks getting money in this game. It sucks getting money in this game. Speaking of sucks,
And
bots of Doom, why did you not go after the 2 enemies that were on the ground? Why did you go after the goddamn birds?
okay, so there's one thing I'm actually kind of curious about. Do you know if this game has multiple versions of it?
Do you mean like say, how
Like a 1.0, 1.1 kind of
No,
deal?
no, I do not know.
Alright, because getting more bolts would seem like the kind of thing they could fix in a potential 1.1 version.
Mm-hmm. In fact, one of the trophies for this version of the game, I'm actually going to check real quick.
Yeah, there's only a 1.0.
There it is.
Although Going Commando apparently has a version 2.0.
I don't remember what the difference for that is. Yeah, there's also a trophy for collecting 1 million bolts.
And remind me again, how much does the most expensive item cost?
Well, 150.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. That's really fucking stupid. That's really fucking stupid. Even with the exploit that is gone in this version of the game. That's still stupid.
Wait, the exploit?
Well, we have not been gone to the planet there, so I'll explain that when we get to that planet.
Is it one of those infinitely respawning enemies kind of thing?
Yes and no. Yes and no. But it is a good way to get bullets really quickly. Not super quickly, but at a decent level. At a decent level.
Yeah. I mean, I personally just love it when you can find a spot to farm
Find easily
money.
as hell.
Yeah. I mean, it might be tedious, but I'd rather just stand in one spot doing one thing again and again and again until I have enough money to get the thing that I want. Rather
Hey, it's
than
Court.
Hello,
Like
Captain Ratchet.
and there he wow.
Come and get me, hero.
But yeah, I'd rather just grind at one spot rather than play the game the intended way. And what the hell is this?
Remember the ancient boss fight in Crash 3? That's exactly what this is.
You know, Ratchet, I'm doing this for your own.
Lovely.
It's actually kind of my favorite boss fight in this entire game. Even though it's really annoying.
I mean, they're really going for that grand space adventure kind of aesthetic, right?
Yeah. Cortex, this round is not actually a bad boss fight. It's, like I said, it's my favorite of this game because it's honestly a really decent challenge. Because you still have to dodge all the stuff. Dodge all the stuff. And now it's time for the tractor beam part where basically you're just rotating between the two things and taking a few pot shots at Quark.
Is this going to be like Sky Chase from Sonic Adventure, where this fight is destined to fail?
No. No, you
Okay.
take Quark down. This is the last fight you have against Quark.
All right.
In this game, that is.
In this game, obviously. I mean, they do need to sell sequels, eh?
Yeah. This part I think is kind of the worst part, considering they give you 5 enemy ships to deal with, and they don't really give you a whole lot of health except for random meteors.
Yeah, I can see that being a problem. Of course, me being an ace pilot in Grand Theft Auto 5, I feel like I would have no problem with this section at all.
Maybe.
Are the controls inversed?
I believe so. It's been a while. And there's not really a go back and play through type thing.
Because one of my biggest weaknesses is when the camera control is inversed, but then when I play any kind of flying game, I have to have it inversed, the control, not the camera. Like, I don't know, I always thought it was kind of stupid, but I grew up with it, so
yeah.
You're in big trouble. Big trouble. Let's have a little space time.
I mean, we're not really talking, Quark. You're just shooting missiles at me.
I will say, I find it kind of hilarious that throughout all of this, Ratchet and Clank just stays silent. Like, if this was any modern game, there would be like so much banter going around.
Yeah. Which is really disappointing.
That they do it in modern games, or that they don't do it in this game?
They don't do it.
Right. I mean, to be fair, it means that we have to supply our own banter, so, like, why don't we return to a previously discussed subject that we haven't finished talking about?
And that subject is?
I don't know. I laid the foundation. It's up to you to build up to it.
You're the one that started that. You're the one that started. Someone looked at me for thoughts.
Hey, that's my role. I start things, you finish things. It's how this channel operates.
Boo.
I'm always like you, you know. I will just...
Am I wrong?
Hey, Ratchet, buddy, old pal. What do we just call it?
I mean, that's the split screen method. Proven correct since 1984. We weren't a thing yet in 1984, so...
Mayday! Mayday! Well, Ratchet, I'd say you passed the test. Oh, boy.
And Quark falls to his death.
Da 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 da.
My earlier criticism, I must admit, your piloting skills are improving.
I knew you'd come around.
But that has not helped us locate Drek.
Come on, Clank. Can't you just once relax and enjoy a little success?
And this is the ship that will carry us through the rest of the game.
Betcha this baby can do it.
And it comes with a free info bot.
This is Darla.
Hey,
Pratt,
she's
reporting
alive.
live from Gorda City. This once peaceful planet is being torn apart today.
So did the subtitles turn itself off?
It now seems
Like I said,
Supreme
subtitles,
Executive Chairman Drek will
info
not
bots
be
in
dissuaded in his efforts to destroy the
space
galaxy
cutscenes
for
do
his
not
own
have subtitles.
selfish needs. All hope certainly seems
It's
Right.
really stupid. They fixed that in Going Commando. I don't understand why they didn't fix that for this version. It is here where Ratchet realizes he's okay. You remember the old cartoon, the Looney Tune thing where a character gets tricked and then all of a sudden they turn into either a sucker or a donkey, symbolizing jackass.
Let's go get him.
Now you are talking.
No.
That was Ratchet's point of that moment. And I do actually want to show off something real quick that we're not going to be doing. Wall jump up here, jump onto this platform. And you reach the room with a few of the golden weapons. The golden glove of doom, the golden blaster, the gold pyrocitor, the gold bomb glove, and the gold suck cannon.
Let me guess, they're just gold.
Pyroster's flame is green. Blaster's shots ricochet a lot. I think I think the Glove of Doom's bots are bigger, and so is the explosion of the bomb glove. I think they're not really worth the money.
But they do actually give you a benefit. It's not just look, he's wearing a hat.
Yeah, it's not the new Malibu Stacy doll. The doll with a hat.
Right.
Quickly, my spider sense is tingling.
Yeah, no, I remember how in Overwatch, I don't know if this is still a thing for Overwatch 2, but I remember in Overwatch I played a lot of competitive, so I got some points, and you could use those points to purchase golden weapons for each individual character, and I actually got golden weapons for some of them, mainly for Mei, who was kind of my main at the time, and I think I also got one for Widowmaker and Junkrat. There might have been a fourth one, but I don't know. Like,
I was
a
diva man.
Oh, Genji! I got one for Genji. Point is, like,
you got a lot of them, which honestly,
point is for that game, it's just literally like, yeah, your weapon is gold now.
It's just a skin.
Have fun.
I don't mind that type of stuff. It's just give it to me for as a way to doing a good job. Deal, you know?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that was it, because you needed to play and I believe also win a lot of competitive to get those points.
Which that's fine. That is totally fine. I do not mind giving me a new skin for like a weapon or character if I've used them so much. Don't mind that. Don't really hide that stuff behind money.
Yeah, well, luckily, one of the only good things Blizzard did with Overwatch consistently, they never, like, don't get me wrong, the game had micropayments, but you couldn't get the golden character skins.
You couldn't money cheat.
You couldn't money cheat. You had to actually play the game competitively.
Yeah. Which is
just a shame that modern day Overwatch is kind of all over the place in terms of monetization.
Especially, and Blizzard's reputation's kind of in the toilet now, even though now it's owned by Microsoft.
Which I still find very weird.
Agreed. Yeah, is.
But really okay, before we call, I just want to check one thing. What's the current state of Overwatch on Steam? It currently sits at 234,086 reviews.
Mostly negative?
Of which only 15% of which are positive.
So yeah, mostly negative. Mostly negative.
No, overwhelmingly negative.
That still counts. That's the same goddamn thing. That's the still goddamn same thing, okay?
I still find it hilarious that if you go to the community hub of Overwatch 2, there is no artwork section of it. Because the artwork was getting a little bit too sus.
Gee, I wonder why. Almost as if the main thing that keeps Overwatch afloat is the goddamn porn.